Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the birthday number 7 reading. So, your birthday number talks about an extra energy that you can tap into. Imagine it being like another outfit that you can wear as you walk out your life path number, which is, your main purpose. And so, sevens, you're mystics, you're extremely knowledgeable, very analytical. You can have the same experience as other people. You can have the same experience. You all can be sitting in the room, watching the same show, having the same conversations, but the depth in which you are absorbing information and processing your surroundings is much different from those around you. Okay, so sevens, you have not you're introspective, you're intuitive. Most of your world is taking place within, and I'm not talking about yes, you are mentally and intellectually strong, but spiritually you have this innate understanding, and awareness. So sevens, that's the energy you possess. I don't know if I said this, but you find your birthday number by thinking about the day of the month that you were born. So if you were born on March 7th, your birthday number is 7. How about 16th? 1 plus 6 is 7, the 25th of the month. So this is how you got to this reading, knowing that that's your number. All right, so you are the seers, the mystics. First card out, how do you feel about yourself now? We have eliminate distractions. Stop shining light on things that you are not. Next card, what do you most want at this moment? It says you are the joy seeker. Now, I am just briefly going to run through the cards and pull them, and then I'll kind of go back and we'll dig in. Card 3, what are your fears? It says when peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. What is your advantage? What is your advantage? Okay. We have the how is in the now. So timing. Time is on your side. We had 2 flip. We'll go ahead and take them. What is opposing you? You are the image maker. What you focus on manifests. And last card, what is the outcome according to the current situation? Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure. All right, so sevens, this is about you stepping into you and not second guessing. This is about really knowing what you're capable of. And this is almost, when you kind of close the door to one aspect of self and one reality, and you step into this newness. And at the bottom of that deck, we have Great Awakening. Walk in your truth. Stand firm in your light. And so that's pretty much what's happening. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot, and then I like to pull those healing cards because I normally read one of them. So let's see what we have so far. All right. So for how do you feel about yourself now, we have 4 of Wands. What do you most want at this moment? 8 of Wands. So we definitely have passion. We've got movement. We've got fire. We've got, we're engaging our creative sparks and the things that uniquely make us us. We have the Awakening, also known as Hangman. This would be our fears. Hangman position is something that we fear. And then what is your advantage? We have 8 of Pentacles. Skilled work, doing what you love, right? Being goal-oriented. And what's opposing you? Page of Wands. Understanding about what this current moment is really delivering to you. And then lastly, what's the outcome according to the current situation? Transformation. Beautiful. And let's take note, at the bottom of that deck, we have Knight of Wands. So listen, you really engaging in your life. This is about you discovering what's inside of you and letting it take a front seat and directing and navigating, where your story is going, how it's being written, why it's being written in this format. This is about discovering your why and putting your willpower behind the things that you want. And this is about really grabbing them, bringing them to fruition. I think about the Seven of Cups. It's like all those options, all those choices, but at some point you have to make one of them become real. And that's the energy of seven, really being in that space of analyzing, kind of critiquing, comparing notes, trying to rule things out, cancel out the things that are not for you, don't fit, and trying to kind of get down to the final option. Alrighty. Let's get two more. Now one more. And I will read one of these cards at the bottom. I will also make a note of the words because I know some of them are cut off. All right, our spread is good to go. And at the bottom of the crystal healing deck, we have forgiveness. I immediately heard for self. So I don't understand. I'm not hearing that this is about for another's. We do have the Lover's card here, so we'll tap into it. But I definitely heard this is about forgiveness for self, so we'll understand why. All right, sevens, here we go. Alrighty, so how do you feel about yourself right now? We have eliminate distractions. Stop shining light on things that you're not. This is about maintaining peace and contentment in your personal life. And so, at the bottom, we have source here. And in this card, there's a person who's covering their face because the light is just so bright. It's overwhelming. And I feel like this is you and source meeting. And initially, when you kind of come online and level up and step into an aspect of self, it can be uncomfortable. It can be a little scary. It can be hard to understand, right? And so I feel like as soon as you make this connection with source and you realize that you do have a relationship, there is a bridge, there is something that links you to what's beyond the veil, right? There's something that links you to the creator, to all that is. When you realize that, you also realize all the things that are just vibrationally low and no longer work or fit. You start to see immediately things that have to be released: habits, behaviors, thought patterns, people, places, things, jobs. All of a sudden, you can see yourself so clearly, and that's not always comfortable, but it's necessary for what comes next in your unfolding, right? And so what's awesome is you also have, the Four of Wands. And so this is like eliminating all the things that are distracting you so that you can focus on the things that are grounding you, the things that bring you security, the things that bring you peace, the things that bring you contentment. And so this is kind of like doing a spring cleaning, but, on the scale of your life, and so this is kind of the space that you're in, right? Really assessing self, looking at all the things that we could have ignored, kind of digging in the crevices of self. We have, what do you most want at this moment? And joy. It says you are the joy seeker. What little victories can you celebrate? And so something that's important about growth and discovery and understanding is that it is a process and it does take time, and it can be uncomfortable and kind of ugly at times. It can feel ugly. It can feel not like a sexy moment in the life that we're trying to live, right? But if you can find the synchronicities and the symbols and the messages and all the things that make you smile, if you can hang on to those and let those be your light as you go through the uncomfortableness of growth, if you can hang on to the things that bring you comfort, those kind of snowball and it grows and grows, and that becomes an energy that you can ride on like a wave. You can ride that energy into the new. And so you most want to feel joy. You want to come alive. You want to be engaged. You want to expand. You want to express. You want to create. You want to live in that space. and you want this to happen quickly. We have 8 of Wands, right? And so you want to be alive and involved in life, right? You want to have your energy meet, you want your energy and life's energy to match. 8 of Wands, 8 is a number of abundance and mastery and work, right? And also leadership, but mostly courage. And so whatever comes your way, you're meeting it with the same momentum. It's attempting to be prepared even if many things are happening at once. And so it can be shocking, it can be exciting, it can be many things, but you know it's really about how are you going to manage the things that are coming your way. Not that they're going to, and none of it is bad, but it's a momentum that you must meet. And so the changes, the shifts, this could be travel, any type of movement that your life is going through right now, it can best support you if you meet it with joy. What things are working with you and not against you? All things work for you, but at times it seems like some things are going against us and some things are actually pushing us in the direction that we'd go. Now, animals could be significant. Um, and so let's talk about this card. So animals animals can be soulmates, animals can be significant. So the connection that we have as humans to animals really represents something deeper, something spiritual. And so think about the animals that are significant in your life and think about what they represent to you. Think about what is the spirit of that animal. What is your spirit animal? What do you kind of navigate to? One question I always like to ask people is, if you were an animal, what animal would you be? And so if you've haven't really thought about that, think about that. And then whatever animal, or your top 3, really look up spiritual meaning of, if you decided you wanted to be a llama, spiritual meaning of llama. But animals can be significant for some reason. It can be because of the energy that they bring into your life, because of the energy that you feel or you muster up from within when you are in the presence of animals. But it can also talk about the energy that you were supposed to be serving, and you were supposed to be serving animals in some way, whether that be through medical care or true activism. But animals are significant. Um, and when we're talking about joy, being the joy seeker, if you have a pet that's significant, if you have an animal that is, hang on to that when you're thinking of reasons to smile, or ways to be happy, and how to find those small victories. Think about, your non-human loved one and start there. So let's talk about fears. So when we're talking about what your current fears are, we have, when peace is your priority, negativity cannot exist. And so that's really good, because we already know that at this moment you want to feel joy and momentum, and you want to be fully engaged in celebrating the things that are going well in life. But at the same time, we want this energy to stay consistent. We don't want anything to shake or to break the space that we are living in. And so we know that there are some things that we just have to put boundaries up against. There are some things that we have to change, some things that we can no longer tolerate. And so peace has to be our priority no matter what. It's not relationships. We don't owe anybody anything, and a title that someone has doesn't give them room to decide how they show up or navigate in our life. Um, and so this is really about creating boundaries in order to protect your peace. How do we make this a priority? And so this can be a little scary. And so we have the awakening, and this is literally about turning yourself upside down and shaking out all that you thought was, so that the divine can fill you up with what is, right? This is the awakening, but you don't get here accidentally. You get here by choice. You consciously choose to surrender. You consciously choose to listen, to stop, to hear, to feel, to take in, right? Um, and so you choose to wake up. No longer are you asleep to this life or the role that you play. It says a temporary pause for reflection and insight, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light. Embrace your own uniqueness, charitable actions. And so, peace is our priority, right? We realize that what we experienced in the past with people, places, or things, or even aspects and behaviors of self, can no longer continue because it disturbs us at our core. And so we have to awaken to see this. And then we had to learn this. We had to discover this. We didn't always realize this, but now that we know, we need to protect it, right? We understand the value of our peace in our inner space. So we have patience. And so let's just say something, being patient immediately, when people are like, what does it mean to be patient? It means you got to wait. But I don't think patience is really about waiting. I think it's about how you wait, right? I mean, yes, patience is about probably kind of being in a space for an extended period of time. But you can't, but patience looks very different from anxiousness, right? Patience looks different from fear. It looks different from, you know, pessimism. So being patient is really about being in this surrender, this pause for maybe a little longer than you are comfortable with. And so that is a lesson in itself. If waiting and if surrendering and if stopping and pausing and reflecting and gaining new insight, if that journey into self is a little, you know, not always your favorite thing to do, not that you don't understand the value in it, but if that's a struggle for you, I think patience for you means the way in which you wait for all of this to become clear to you matters. You're going to get this information. You're going to understand. You're going to be able to answer these questions that you seek about your own peace and space and what brings you to this place of pleasure and comfort. Anything you need to know is going to come to you, but we're watching to see how you wait until it arrives. And so, as we wait to kind of get these new downloads and to kind of level up on our journey and to grow and to understand and to gain clarity, as we wait for all of those things to come, we are still growing and working. It just looks totally different, right? So, be mindful and always anticipate that anything that I can't see is working in my favor, right? Yes, we'll have fear, but own it. Own it, challenge it, right? But don't suppress it. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Just prepare for it. Now, what's your advantage? Timing is significant. So, in the beginning, we start with this huge flash from source. There are things that have to go. Anything that isn't a part of our prosperity, our peace, our contentment, anything that doesn't fit into this what keeps us grounded and secure has got to leave, right? And so you have an advantage in this moment. The how is in the now. And so your intuition is speaking to you. Not only have you awakened, but now the download is here, right? Now you're moving on to the next level. You're kind of leveling up. And so it is now. Now, why is this significant for you? Because whatever you're understanding, whatever information that you are being given right now requires action, hands on work. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And so this is building, this is creating, this is really applying self to something. This is doing. Um, And so you're being called to listen to what your intuition is telling you, but then to immediately apply it, manifest it, bring it, start to work on it. Whatever you don't have, you just don't have. But use what you do have to kind of build that momentum to kind of meet this energy, right? And so it says learning all you can about a subject or career. So if we don't have the money to pay for the course or to take the class or to get the certification, we do have the insight, we do have the ability to Google, you know, free PDF on, or PDF about, or you know what I mean? Like free class or free course or video. There are ways to get the information. So don't limit yourself if you feel as though you don't have the resources, right? Yes. Okay. So learning all you can about a subject or career, but the time is now. This may mean going back to school, taking a seminar, or finding a mentor. Pay attention to detail. This also can talk about skilled work that you love, but nonetheless, this is about engagement. And so this is your advantage. You are being given information. You're receiving a download about something that you can creatively engage and express yourself with and through. And that shows up in this Eight of Pentacles. Now, we also have the moonstone cycles. And this talks about energy. This talks about, sometimes in life there's a time to receive. There's a time when we're in this awakening stage where we are understanding and learning information and we don't quite see everything yet. But even in surrender, there are things that you can do. There are ways that you can apply. And so there's a cycle that you are in that requires immediate action, right? I typically read one of these cards at the bottom. I'm kind of being pulled to read cycles. We'll keep going. We have lovers and manifestation, but I think cycles is important because it talks about time and how you should show up in these cycles. And we don't want to miss moments. We really need to capitalize on our energy and how to make it match the energy that's present. So, what's opposing you? It says you are the image maker. What you focus on manifest. What thought patterns do you need to shift? And so, seven's you're introspective, you're analytical, right? But when you're building, sometimes you just got to go, right? And it's not about being foolish, but sometimes you can't know all the ways in which it'll fail before you even try. And so sometimes living in that seven energy, you want to be safe, you want things to be secure, you just want to make sure that you have a plan and that you're being knowledgeable and methodical. You want to use your resources wisely, right? And so we don't just want to jump in head first. We want to have some type of schematic that we're following. But remember, you are creating this image. Whatever you see in your mind is exactly what you're creating. And so when you're thinking of every loophole and flaw and failure, when you're thinking of every way that something can go wrong, unfortunately, as the image maker, you are creating that image. And so I think that's really about you being able to repackage your energy in a way that benefits you in this space. You're clearly in a space of manifesting. And so this may not be the best moment to analyze all aspects. This is a time where we kind of want to plant seeds and we want to capitalize on momentum and we just want to build. So what we see is what we want to do. It's what we want to have. And so this is about using our energy for to better us and not to block us. Okay. And so something needs to shift in how we are thinking, right? In order to overcome this challenge. And so that's the significance of the Page of Wands, right? And so instead of being stuck, we need to be this Page of Wands. It says enthusiastic, optimistic, creative, impatient, news of exciting opportunities, allowing your creativity to soar, do things that fuel your passions and finish what you start. And so You need to become this Page of Wands because you are literally manifesting and creating all things that are in your mind. And so when you imagine the life for yourself, when you imagine whatever this next thing is for you, what are you seeing? Where are you? Who's with you? What are you wearing? What are you eating? What are you talking about? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? It has to be that real. And you have to be excited about doing that and feeling it and thinking it. Like, you have to be excited. I just saw a magazine. Like, imagine, when you check out at a grocery store and they have the magazines to your left and your right. Pick up a magazine, and just cut out pictures that reflect where you're going, and just paste them on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be fancy. Like, no, just get a magazine, find one, you know, housekeeping, whatever you have, and cut out things that resonate. If someone's smiling, you want to smile, cut them out. They're smiling. I want to smile, right? Because that represents the space that we're about to live in. And so if it's hard for you to create that vision in your mind because you have to navigate those thoughts and the fears, that's fine. That's fine. But figure out a way to soothe that, right? Let's not stay in that cycle of recreating what we don't want. And so all I'm saying is, if you can't create the image, go get the image and kind of allow it to unfold like that. And that can help you step into this Page of Wands and this creative energy where you are just ready to take your wand and do magic. Now we have the Lovers card here. So you have two Master Teacher cards. Our first card was Source, and now we have Lovers. And so this talks about a significant connection of some kind. This can be with an animal, a pet. This can be with a human that we were born into a family with. This could be with a family. This could be with someone that we made our family, right? We don't have to always be blood to be family, but this could be a significant relationship with someone that we found in life that was definitely our soul family. So Lovers is significant, but I really think this mostly is really talking about you doing what you love, falling in love with life, allowing love to be your fuel in this moment of manifestation. So finally, what is the outcome according to the current situation? Well, this is about you taking responsibility for the life that you most desire for self. And so when you choose to take the wheel and to truly drive, navigate, and lead your existence, anything is possible. And you really have to realize that this is a creative adventure. This is not stress. This is exciting. You literally have a canvas with, many different paints, many different brushes, and you can do whatever you want with it. And that is kind of the space that you should live in. And so when you're cutting up magazines, when you're finding pictures, when you're collecting, things. I just thought about something when I was in maybe middle school or high school, but we used to save shoe boxes, to keep all the notes that your friend, I guess I'm telling my age, but you keep all notes were handwritten. No, we didn't text. So you keep notes that you and your friends were writing during class, but you have to put them somewhere. And so I would take shoe boxes and I would decorate them with images from magazines. I was really into sports. And so I would cut out athletes or Olympians and words that were empowering, and I would decorate the shoebox. And that's a kind of crafty way, if you've got 10 to 20 minutes to just do something like that. And whatever you decide to put in this shoebox, if you decide to put anything at all, is totally up to you. But maybe these are things that reflect where you're going. Maybe every day you put something in. It could be a note to self. It could be, something inspiring that you saw. But the important thing is that it needs to be tangible. I feel like in order to get you to engage and to really apply your hands and to make this masterpiece out of life, I feel like you have to do something that you typically wouldn't do. And so I'm asking you to challenge yourself and to come outside of that, right? And these small activities, these are the snowballs that escalate into these massive moments in life where you really do just kind of manifest and create like this mystical magician that sevens really are. So the outcome for you is yes, life transforms, and we literally have transformation. It says a significant life experience that requires changes to be made. Powerful and often unexpected revelations. This is tower moments, surprise, shocking events, breaking free of procrastination, releasing old belief systems. And so that is what this is for you. This source energy that starts the reading about the space you're living in, this is source coming in, and the only option is change. The only option is transformation. Like, you can't run, you can't hide. Like, the time is now. Do it now. That's the space that sevens are in. Not that you were running and hiding, but I'm just saying that even you have an awareness of the space that you know that this time is different than any other time you've been in. Once you know what you know, you can't unknow it, right? And so what is the purpose of this transformation? What is the purpose of this? We have manifestation. And so this is something that you are mastering, right? And before, I don't know why I'm saying this, but sevens, you hold a lot of knowledge, right? And so when you are able to master and create whatever it is you want in your life, you become a teacher, a seer, a way shower to others. And so it is through your own transformation that you can go and reveal and help and show and guide others about the journey that you just conquered and slayed, so that they can then do the same in their life. So I really would like to read cycles. I wish I were more prepared and my book was nearby. Give me just a moment. All right, I'm going to read cycles just to be clear about what is required of you um, in the current space that you're living in, and how you can use this energy to your benefit. Moonstone assists in bringing a deeper understanding and recognition to the cycles in your life. We are connected to and a part of everything that exists in the universe, and energy flows in cycles through us at all times. Each cycle, the seasons, tides, and different phases of existence, brings with it a new essence and meaning. The key is to surrender to each specific cycle and energy, and allow the process to guide you as you learn and grow. The earth and nature are always in harmony. Connecting to them brings about a deeper connection to your own cycles. There are times when you are in your fullness, and other times you are in the depths of darkness. It's time to become aware of how the cycles affect you, and allow yourself to come into sync with them. Honoring these cycles brings about a deepening and healing of self, an expanded sense of freedom. Cycles can last for days, hours, months, years, or lifetimes. You are being encouraged to recognize and honor the cycle you are in currently, as this will bring a deeper understanding and awakening to your feelings and experiences. If you have been feeling confused and stuck in your life and are resisting this natural flow, you are encouraged to start swimming with the tide and connecting to the cycles in your life. The divas are supporting this deeper connecting and suggest you connect with the earth and the elements to assist you in this process. This card can also suggest that you are ending a cycle in your life. Remember to honor this process as you let go of the old way of being and open up to this new energy of your life. So many things are significant here. Definitely surrender, but we talked about this great awakening, this great understanding, this great moment where you're like, okay, this requires action. Like, I can't ignore this. Like, you know what I mean? This is when even you are like, all right, the time is now, and this is where we are. And so this energy is here. And so when you're feeling this push, when you're feeling this urge, this is real. This is real, and you are not required to have all the answers. This is about you awakening. And so if it's about you awakening to self so that your life can take you somewhere, but you can only go if you ride a certain energy in a certain wave. And so this is about you awakening to that energy. And so you need to start to play with that energy, and you have to see what's to come. And that's why I'm asking you to do little creative projects that are just very simple, not challenging, but they're taking you somewhere. Trust. Okay. All right, sevens, I'm hoping this was beneficial. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care.